What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a non-TCG. This is your weekly distribution update. This is something we started last week, and quite honestly, just want to kind of touch on all the different distributors, what we're seeing, what's available, what's sold out, and quite honestly, are there any deals out there? We have access to Magazine Exchange, MedL, GTS, Alliance, PhD Peach State, and Southern Hobby. So all the majors we have access to, and a couple smaller groups that we have reaching out every now and then. So, as per usual, we have the Magazine Exchange weekly specials. Again, this is not a password protected site, so feel free to use magazine-exchange.com /specials. So, just talking through some points here, and then we can walk through the MX item here. The new Lorcana set, Lorcana, however you want to say it, is being allocated like 60-70% on orders. Pre-con decks are really showing the highest allocation, which is kind of unusual. Nightmare bundles, the new Duskmorn are sold out across all distributors. They're kind of going nuts right now. And the Duskmorn set in general is held up, relatively well. And I think part of that, and as I mentioned previously, one of my other videos is the fact that Foundations is a big unknown. I don't think anybody trusts it, especially if it's going to be around for 5 years. And it's a little bit of a wait and see. Moving to PhD, I think it's been pretty well documented that there was a little bit of a restock / reprint of Paldean Evolved and Temporal Forces and Paradox Rift. They actually have Scarlet and Violet base at $85 a box and Paradox Rift at $87 a box, which is a pretty good price. Looks like they're just trying to flush that inventory out, make some space. It's really time to move on. My guess is Scarlet Violet base is pretty much done at this point. We've seen the Silver Tempest dump. We've seen the Crown Zenith dump with all of these bundles and big box stores and everything. So I think it's time to roll off the Scarlet Violet, especially since they did a large restock earlier in the year, and it just kind of muddled in purgatory for a while. Temporal Forces, we do have some of that around across multiple distributors. Quite honestly, that is my favorite set. And then there's obviously some Stellar Crown. What's interesting with Stellar Crown is the sell-through rate on TCG players, 30, 40, 50 boxes a day. So last week there was about 1,750 boxes available. Now there's just over 1,500. So I think what we'll see is over time that's gonna amortize down, if you will, and that'll start to pick up some steam in probably 6 to 8 weeks. No word on the second wave of Sorcery. Both PhD and Southern tell us it's the end of November expected, but if Eric's Curiosa is reliable in one way, it's the fact that their shipping is not reliable. So that could be December, that could be January. And with the overall supply of sealed product out there starting to get tight, we could see a little bit of spike in product there in the near term. And then the Terapagos UPC, which release, I believe it's a week before Surging Sparks, really heavily allocated. We had asked for, I believe, 25 cases from all the distributors. One distributor gave us 5 boxes, and we had one that gave us 108 boxes, which was nice. But generally speaking, it's been all over the board, 2, 5, 12. And then we had, one distributor that was, call it 50 and another at 100. So, we effectively ordered 25 cases times 6. So 150 cases times 4, you're talking 600 boxes. We got about 200. So, 33% for us, and our spend has been pretty solid. Surging Sparks is sold out across the board for the booster boxes. Magazine Exchange does have sleeve boosters, which in my view is probably right there, number 2 product wise, unless you're buying the Pokemon Center ETBs, which in my view are a fantastic purchase. And that's pretty much it. Duskmorn collectors are sold out everywhere, except for Magazine Exchange, and we'll go through that. So Magic Foundations. This looks like so far it's been a little bit of a stinker. We have every distributor calling us up, asking us what we want, will we take it. We've kind of sat back with a wait and see approach because, quite honestly, there's going to be enough product out there. If the collectors go nuts and we miss it, we miss it. But it's better than sinking 5 figures into a product and just having it sit on shelves. And quite honestly, nobody's going to trust it until they do. So, not too much there. Magazine Exchange has MH3 collectors at 329 still. And as I mentioned, they still do have some Duskborn collectors at 196. Now the overall population of these is really started to get tight. And, we've seen kind of the tail end of the dump of the big stores that are just trying to churn and burn to get liquidity on eBay. I know there's been a couple blowouts at 204, 209. But I expect this to see 240, 250 here in the next couple weeks as that disappears. And plus, a lot of the super chase singles are absolutely batshit crazy, and there's not a lot of it out there. Playbox is at 117.50. I did a video on these. I think Playbox is just given a relatively limited print run. Sea Change with Wizards are going to be a relatively strong purchase longer term. And, I mentioned in a video I did on Duskmortal alone, what Wizards has started to do is they print, call it 75% in their wave one, and then they have about a 25% restock, and then that's it. So it's not like in the old days with your booster boxes where, they would just print to demand and just print. And like your original Commander Legends or your MH1, you had 5 and 6 print runs. Those days are dead and gone. So, they have a nice little offer here on Lord of the Rings. The cool thing about Magazine Exchange is they have a lot of these sweetheart deals where you get a really good deal on a product if you buy something else. The problem is a lot of times they limit it to 1 or 2. So if you're a small store, it's a good deal. If you're trying to deal in volume, it's cool, and it's cool for the little guys, but it doesn't really move the needle if you have some scale. Scrolling down, you can see a lot of the booster displays here. 97, 97. Some of the play boxes are at 117. MH3 play 218. Kamigawa 120. Ixalan at $100. So some of these are moving up. Commander Masters still in stock everywhere. I know the prices are moving up, but there's a shit ton of this stuff out there. I don't care what Rudy says. There's a lot. Dominaria Remastered. Those are on sale. They've been on sale for months now. Here's your collectors. Dominaria Remastered. 180. Brothers War 204. March of the Machine 205. I'm sorry, 209, 205. OTJ 186, which it's a decent price, but the fact that they're still in stock is a little bit concerning. Commander Masters, we talked about that. Damu, these are the Omega boxes, so the single packs that you see at Target, Walmart. And then Karlov at 170. Those have really started to move up. But I think what's interesting is, we have collectors for all of the sets except for Bloomburrow and Duskborn. There's a handful here. I think I'm limited to 4 boxes if I order here. So the most recent sets are out of stock, which really just goes to show you how much they've cut the print runs. Moving on to Pokemon, you have your SV base at 92.95. Paldea Evolved 120. This is the restock, reprint, restock, whatever. Paradox Rift, same thing. $93. Temporal 108.95. These have really gone nuts on TCG Player. These are sitting at like $120 a box, and there's not a whole lot of volume out there. Stellar's still at 92.95. I think Stellar's going to be a great product. It's going to age very well. It's a small set, but the print runs are tight. The pull rates are tough, but it's a smaller set, so they're doable. Moving down here, Shrouded Fable. Booster bundles at $17. There's going to be a time and place where Shrouded Fable is dirt cheap, and time to pull. There's a time just to pull the trigger and buy a ton of it. We're not there yet. We're probably a year away, but it's probably a nice set that's going to be not reprinted much, if at all, going forward. These Paldea Adventure chests are cool. I actually got one for my my little boy, he loves it until he stuck the squishy Pikachu up his nose. But that's a different conversation. Boys will be boys, but these things are awesome. Buy one get one, which is really cool. Mini tins, I don't really care about this that much. They still have the Crown Zenith booster bundles for $25.95, but honestly, you can buy them on the Pokemon Center website for $23.95. So you're limited there, but I would do that. The Charizard, that's just it's a space eater, nothing more. So getting down to Surging. So here you go. Booster box is sold out, and they didn't put that there to rub it in everybody's face. They put it there because this is like their template. The sleeve boosters, I actually love this one quite a bit. It's a nice way to participate in the product with booster boxes, kind of being sold out everywhere. And we got about the same booster box wise as what we got with Stellar Crown, but we ordered a lot more. So I think we got 92 cases, something like that with Stellar Crown. Here looks like we're going to get close to 600 boxes, but that's about 60% of what we ordered. So we have all the distributors trying to find boxes for us, along with 100 other people competing for the same. But if we don't have any luck as we get into release in the next couple weeks, we fully intend to pick some of these up. And Magazine Exchange is really the only distributor that carries them. The rest of this, ETBs, whatever, they'll print ETBs until they're blue in the face. With Stellar Crown, same deal. Just want to touch on a couple other things here. So they have the Twilight Masquerade sleeve boosters for $3.91. So it's $144 per case, it's 4 booster boxes. So if you're going to buy them and rip them, this is by far the best deal. Temporal Forces $371. $371 is their base price on this. Plus you get some fun Halloween junk here, and then a couple others just real quick to end it. Base set ETBs 22 or 229 for 10. Paldea Evolved 249. This one scares me a little bit. Like they're just going to have a ton of these dumped on the market. And again, ETBs are generally not a great buy, the non-Pokemon Center ones, until the product's out of stock. So for example, Mad Owl had a deal, and I think some of the other distros did as well with this is probably 2-3 months ago with Silver Tempest, where they were selling cases for $250 each, so 25 per. And we ended up buying about 20 cases of those because we think those will age well. But again, those things were reprinted to high hell and just need them to get ripped and go away. So anyway, that is this week in TCG distribution and non-TCG. If you enjoyed this, like, subscribe, join the Discord. We are going to start offering some deals to people in the Discord, relatively shortly here, and we actually we're polling the audience on a discounted deal for Searching Sparks boxes and cases. So, all right, boys, have a good weekend, and we'll talk soon.